Hello, everyone. Here in Mandawi, Cebu, waiting for the storm to come. You can see, as of right now, it is very wet right now. You can see a lot of rain, waiting for the storm to come. We just stocked up on food, water, uh, everything. My wife is in there cooking stuff right now to put in the freezer, just in case the power goes out. I was just thinking about something that really irritates me. And that's when people tend to point things out amongst other people, about people or circumstances or places, and and they may really be guilty of the same thing or have experienced the same thing where they come from. Let me explain. So what I mean is, for instance, I've seen YouTube bloggers that may be looking in like subdivisions, looking at neighborhoods or whatever, and they see a house with a bunch of trash in the yard, or they see a trash house, and they're like, "Oh, this is crazy! Look at this!" And one at one time they're like, "Oh, it's so nice here. The people are so nice. The people are so beautiful," and then they're basically dumping on the people, speaking bad about the people. Uh, and the reason I hate that is because I'm like, if you're from America, um, especially I'm from Los Angeles, so you see trash, you see messed up houses, you see dirty neighborhoods, whatever. I mean, yeah, it is beautiful, but there's a lot of poverty, a lot of homelessness, a lot of things that are plaguing the country right now. So I don't think we have any room to point the finger and say, look at these people and look what they're doing. Uh, so just thinking about that, it really drives home the point of, as being an American, you have to be conscious of the programming you have been given from American society. For instance, like a friend told me, America's the best country on earth. Like, how do you know that? You don't even have a passport. You never left the country. You don't even know if that's true. Uh, they have some advantages, some benefits that other places don't have, but those places have benefits and advantages that America doesn't have. Um, so you have to be conscious of this. Things that you've been told, things that you've been taught, and the way you look at things, the way you look at people. So I've seen where people say, as far as Filipinos, they want a green card, they want money, different things like that. I really don't want to touch on that, but one thing I really was thinking about recently is because there are a lot of Americans and people from other Western countries in the Philippines homeless. Homeless, don't have anywhere to go, don't have any food, they're sleeping on the street, just like you see in downtown LA or other parts of LA County, wherever. I really haven't seen any tent cities here, but yeah, there are homeless people. There are homeless expats. And the reason I was thinking about how people tend to classify people or speak about people is because uh, these people actually take care of those Americans. So people, if you think about it, the crazy part about that is that people say the Philippines is a third world country. They say they're money hungry, they scam, whatever, right? They only want you for your money. Uh, But yeah, these people, if you think they don't have much or they're lacking or whatever, they take the time out of their personal money, their personal time and budget or whatever, and they actually look out and support and help other people. Uh, so you have to be conscious of the way you think it or things you say or the preconceived notions you may have. Always be aware of that. So I remember recently I saw a YouTuber speaking about. I've seen more than one speak about the dogs in the Philippines. There are a lot of stray dogs, and so because there are a lot of stray dogs, they don't have shots. A lot of them have diseases and they're tore up. They're ugly. But I've heard more than one person say it's animal abuse. Now, me personally, I've never seen any animal abuse. I've seen animal abuse in America. I've never seen them do anything to any animals. That's something I've never seen. But I have seen them feed stray animals. And that's something you won't see in America. People are not going to do that unless they have some type of organization. Normally you have organizations in America that may take them in, but they may not necessarily go out in the community and feed them. So people do feed them. I think people, it's basically like, uh, blaming someone else when you see something wrong with these animals. It's ridiculous. But I know my wife told me they actually did have a service that used to go around and give them shots and stuff like that for free. I guess it got defunded or whatever. But yeah, so speaking about the homeless people that I've seen, there, now this is sounds crazy. There's actually an odd case where I live in these condos. There is an American, uh, not gonna say his name or any details about him, but he's from San Francisco, and he's been here for a while. And it's kind of an odd situation. He has a condo here, and he sleeps outside. Really doesn't have anything. Um, but his condo he has a hoarding situation. His condo is filled, back to front, floor to ceiling, full of stuff. And I really don't want to speak about him, and that is an odd situation. It's actually like I think the makers of some type of reality show or TV show or something. But it's just amazing how these people feed him. Like there are pretty Filipinos in this building that we live where he can just go knock on the door and they'll sit and talk to him for like 2 or 3 hours and they'll feed him, cook for him, all type of stuff. You know what I mean? And I don't think that's something you would see in America. So I think that's something people have to think twice about before they try to judge and label people and, uh, you know, stick to these stereotypes and thoughts. People have thoughts about places they've never been. I was just watching an interview where a brother was interviewing two white guys who basically had white supremacist standpoints, and he was speaking about South Africa and he was speaking about China, and when it came the guy basically told him like I've been to South Africa 13 times, more than 13 times I think he was, and he said he had been to China, and he basically was telling him how can you have an opinion when you've never been there. But the most interesting part about that conversation was that one of the guys was saying he asked him about China as far as technology. He said, "Oh yeah, they're good." I don't know how to say it. Basically, he said they're good at replicating things, right? And the guy told him, he said, "That's what scares me. That's why I'm scared for America because you don't even see what other people are doing. You don't see the progress they have made." And I've noticed that. I've actually spoken about that because I've actually told my people about cars that they've made in other places. You know what I mean? Like cars they have for sale. Like they have cars that are on the market for 11,000, 15,000 that are better than Teslas. But people have been so brainwashed by our country, our society, our government. They think that they're inferior. They think all they can do is steal other people's inventions, excuse me, or copy people's inventions. But yeah, that was just it. It was just a quick note about people assuming things and not really knowing what they're talking about or thinking certain things about people, and it may not necessarily be the truth because looks can be deceiving. And like I said, as far as what I've seen, I doubt that in America, like in LA, I doubt that a homeless person could just go up and knock on a beautiful woman's door and talk to her and get a meal. So hey, that's just food for thought.